Alright, YouTube, so I'm taking a stab at this. This is actually my first post on YouTube, but I just recently moved back to central Illinois. They've got a lot of great fishing waters from strip mines to quarries and whatnot. Unfortunately, everything's private nowadays. Welcome to 2019. I've got some access to them, but not really ready access. So I wanted to come down and these little shallow creeks. It's August, as you just seen there. Being that I mentioned that just because the water level is really low. We haven't had a lot of rain. But this is about a half mile up from my house. So I just came down under this bridge. I literally have some Walmart gear, Zebco 33s, some lures that are $1, $3, and wanted to show that you can just walk out and have some fun in these little creeks. So throughout this, I'm usually using chatterbait, and I've got a craw trailer on it. I think they're Havoc craws. That was the most success I had. Later, I pull out a buzzbait just because topwater is a lot of fun. So this guy here was just I think 2.4. All these are between a pound and a half, 3. I think 3.4 was the largest one of the day. I'm normally a catch and release guy, but kind of the whole purpose of going out was just to play in these creeks. And next weekend we want to fry up a bunch of stuff on a family get together. So I decided to bag a couple of them. I'm literally walking in the creek here. This one cast in the video here, this is actually a lipless crank. This is a little rock bass who I about yank all the way back to my feet. But it turned out that the water's too shallow. It's pretty grassy and some rocks on the bottom, and that lipless wasn't doing the trick. It was just getting caught up too much, banging it up too much. Good square bill or something probably would have worked well, but they were hitting so well on that chatter that couldn't help but to go back to it. So here we're back on the chatterbait. You'll see there's throughout this creek, it floods a lot, so there's some that's a plastic pallet up there. They're all throughout here, which I hate to see the garbage laying in the creek, but I appreciate the cover. Throughout this day, this was Saturday, it's partly cloudy. For the most part, that cloud stayed behind the sun stayed behind the clouds, but that's a fantastic thing. About 75 degrees today, which is the first time in a while that it wasn't blazing hot, so I'm sure that helped me out. I don't have all the fish on this video, but I logged 27 that day. I recommend getting a fish app. There's plenty of them out there. About 2 weeks ago, I started playing with some, and I stuck with FishBrain. FishBrain allows you to log all your catches. You take a picture of them. Nice thing with just about any phone today. I use an iPhone, but you can take a picture of them, throw them back, get back to your house, post them to FishBrain. And because of your phone, it'll the exact location, the time and date, all that gets pulled right into FishBrain. So you can kind of come back and look at your stats, where you caught them, the weather. It does water temp, but you can see there, I don't know how I brought him in. He was barely hooked. But you can see other fishermen as well. The free version is just as great for your own sake, and you can see others. The premium, which I do pay for, it's $10 a month or $75 a year, but basically it allows you to see the exact location of other people fishing, which is pretty good since I'm back in central Illinois. I'm exploring places to go. But it's a cool little app, lets you kind of go back and do some homework. This mud here that I'm walking in, you just sink in. As soon as you step, you just sink above your ankle. I'm trying not to fall down there. And again, normally I do catch and release, but since I wasn't, I had to keep walking back to my to my line here. It's a pain in the butt. All along here is some laydowns, and there's some decent grass pads. Right, so everywhere you see a little bit of green on the water, that's grass all the way to the bottom. It's a foot or two of water out there. I can pull that chatterbait. Sometimes I drop it right in there. Sometimes I pull up on the side of it. In any case, it didn't take but a couple casts. But yeah, this is just a small creek. It happens to run off the Vermilion River. It's called Rooks Creek. And yeah, I just went down to play around a little bit. It turned out to be a great day. Here I am, cast way down there. Again, that's a strip of grass up there. Just come up and hit that. Apologize for the video here. I've literally got my GoPro hanging off my waist, so Videoing wasn't the goal of that day. Glimpse of him there shooting out of that grass. This is very shallow and very clear, but it's not actually sight fishing. They're under that grass. You don't see them, but you can see them dart out and just inhale that chatterbait. Here I drop it right on the grass, and instantly he's on it. Most of these, like I said, I caught them up to 3 pounds, 4 ounces. Most of these were right around 2, 2.5, as small as 1/6. So nothing, not a bunch of monsters, but some really good fish. I mean, to catch almost a dozen of them over 2 pounds in central Illinois in a small creek, I was pretty excited with. There's my camera bouncing around. I guess I'm trying not to trip in the mud I'm standing in. This guy decided to go on his side and just swim the bank. Again, that's chatterbait with a craw trailer. They were eating it up. This location here, it's the same creek, but I got in my car and drove up about a half mile to the next bridge. I think this center route here is probably about knee deep, a couple feet. It's just a lot of fun, guys. Get out there, find places to go. Again, I just moved back, getting settled in, decided to go out and grab some inexpensive gear. So there's nothing here that you see that wasn't bought at Walmart, and it's just some, middle of cornfields with a creek running through it. So you don't have to be at Lake Okeechobee. I know if you're on YouTube and you're looking, there are all these massive places. Now here I'm walking along and I seen this hole up there, so it gets a little bit deep. This is that catfish you seen in the beginning of the video. It's 6'6", 6 pounds, 6 ounces. I was sinking in the mud again, so my goal was to beach him. Right up on that little shallow piece there. Well, I tried not to fall down. And we have a successful beaching. I clipped out my messy walk out there to get him. There's evidence of the mud that I was walking in. Now I walked back under that bridge, and here I switched over to a topwater, a little buzzbait black. You can see this grass pad 2 feet in front of me is where he's going to jump on this one. The chatterbait was working so well, but I can't resist throwing a topwater. They're just too much fun. So I switched over. It's not in the video, but that train bridge straight across from me, I'd walked across and went over that train bridge there. It's a rocky base that they did when they put in the train bridge, so that's where I caught that. I think it was 3-4. Still on the buzzbait here. That center out there is probably about 3 feet deep, and it's a circle of grass. So when I had the chatterbait, I was dropping it right in there. With this top water, I'm actually casting beyond it underneath that tree, and then bringing it between this log here you see on your left and the grass pad out in the middle. It's literally a $1 lure from that I got at Walmart. There's another one I think jumps on right at my feet. Yeah, right here. That's too much fun just watching that thing disappear. Just trying to show him off a little bit, but apparently lower than the camera. Get that one almost immediately way out there. Little guy though. Alright guys, well this is about to end, but again, no matter where you live, get out there. Doesn't take much. You don't have to have a boat. This is off on the bank. Yeah, I got a little bit of wet and muddy, but that's all right. It's part of fishing. Uh, gear matters, but here's to show you that you can go down to Walmart and grab some gear that's relatively inexpensive and walk out to a little creek. You don't have to be in a big lake filled with reeds. Doesn't even have to be deep. Shallow water is great water. So it can be done. Get out there, have some fun. Let me know what you think.